Hey guys, Null Puppet here, and today I'm going to be coming at you from this unflattering angle to give you some important tips on, car crashes. Here's the first thing. What the fuck is a glove box? So, people will say your your registration and insurance info will be in your glove box. In some states, and keep in mind I'm not a lawyer, but in some states, you have to have like your physical insurance info, but in other states you can probably just have it on your phone. Who cares? It'll be in your glove box. Your glove box will be on the passenger side as depicted right now. You open it up and a bunch of papers will spill out. Maybe pens, maybe other things. I don't know what you keep in your glove box. I'm not your dad. This is what your insurance info will probably look something like, and this is what your registration will probably look something like. That's just something that you should know where it is in your car vaguely at all times in the event of a car crash or being stopped by police. I also recommend you keep like a piece of paper or a pen or both, preferably, in your car just to have. You'll see why later. With that out of the way, let's get into the important aspect of why I feel like I, some asshole, thought I should make this video. This is mostly for me and my friends, my buddies, the people I surround myself with, because you're all socially awkward nerds like me, and you'll see videos on like what to do if you ever get into a car crash, and it's like call the police, which like you probably should. It's the only time I'm gonna advocate for that with cars. Anyway, we're all socially awkward nerds here. There's a big important thing that a lot of these videos are missing, and it's the other guy. You don't just get into an accident with yourself. If you do, you only have yourself to blame, and none of this matters. You don't have to give your insurance or registration to anyone. That's all for you. You got to deal with it yourself. Let's say you rear-end someone, or someone rear-ends you, or someone sideswipes you. One car going into another car like that. That's a problem. That's a stressful situation. That's not cool. It does not feel good for anyone involved. Now, you could be like me and the people I surround myself with, and you could just be generally like cool and just generally nice, and like maybe you're frazzled, but you're not going to be mean because that's not who you are. The road is different. The road is full of evil people. I like to think that anyone who enters a car is a different person than who they normally are, because they're bad. The people that are driving are not good people when they enter the car. Maybe they are elsewhere, but on the road it's not. No one's nice, except for maybe you. The person you crashed into or crashed into you is not the person that lives outside of the confines of the vehicle. It's that same jerk come in full force in physical form to really rile up your day. The important part to think about is that they are the worst person ever. And that's hard for me personally. It's going to be hard for a lot of you, but they are genuinely, like, they are not cool, and you need to protect yourself before anything else. Put the mask on before you help others. Don't help others. They are not here to help you 90% of the time. If you're younger, like me, vaguely 20-ish, and you crash into someone older, they're going to yell at you. They will scream. They will, even if they are at fault, they will get really, really mad and try to just control the situation and just beat you into submission because they think that you're a socially awkward nerd like the rest of us, which you are. That they are right. And you need to combat that by staying calm, collected, and generally okay. That's going to be difficult. I understand. They're going to be yelling, and they're going to be loud, and they're going to be mean. And they're going to say, how, you stupid idiot, how could you stop there even though that was a red light? You Nimrod, I hate you. And you're going to have to stand there, and you're going to be like, yeah, okay, can I have your insurance information and registration, please? And they're going to be like, no, admit you're at fault. And that's where they get you. Do not admit fault. Ever. Don't do it to the insurance companies. Don't do it to the other guy. Don't just let the insurance handle it. Let your insurance handle it first. Your insurance wants to pay the least amount of money. They're not really on your side, but they don't want to pay money for this. So they're going to do everything in their power to make the other guy's insurance pay for it. That's their plan. So don't admit in fault to your insurance, don't admit in fault to their insurance, don't sign any documents that aren't like you haven't specifically read through, but all these other videos have gotten into that, right? Mine is more about the people. Let me tell you a story. One time I was visiting my partner at the time, and we were in a parking lot, and they backed into someone. Came out of nowhere. It was no one's fault, really. Tiniest little bump. There wasn't even a dent on the other car, and this lady comes out swinging. Oh my God, how could you do this to me? My kids could have been in there. She didn't fucking go, could you? And she's trying to control the situation, right? So my partner, a socially awkward nerd like the rest of us, was standing there frazzled and scared because that's what you do. Because it's scary to have some stranger run into you. If it's your first accident, if you're younger, even if you're older, it can just be scary to be yelled at. That's okay. I stood out there and said, oh, but your kids weren't in the car, right? And you're cool and everything's fine. So we can trade insurance and deal with this later. And your car still works, and our car still works, and there's no, like, damage at all. She's like, well, actually. I said, well, actually what? Your kids could have been in there? Someone else's kids could have been in your car, too. The Pope could have been in ours. They weren't. I don't know why we're talking about that. The example is, you need to be calm and collected. You need to shut that down, because right after I started saying that, she would go into another argument, and it was also like, hey, but we're not talking about that. You barely got tapped. We barely tapped you. Yeah, like, you came out of nowhere. You can see that there's a huge truck next to us. And one by one, you just need to shut them down from the yelling. You need to stand your ground and worry about all that anxiety later. That's really what you got to do in the situation, and it's hard, which is why a pep talk like this is kind of necessary. Here's a pro tip. Record it. You know that handy-dandy little device that you were probably looking at to get in this accident? A little bit. Not fully, but you know. Record them with it. Just record the situation, record damages, take pictures, take videos, especially if they're being belligerent and rude. Just make sure that you have it documented. You are stoic. You are emotionless. You are, hey, let's get this done. Here's my insurance information. Here's a little pen and paper so you can write it down. That's where that comes in. Or you could just put it in your phone that you're already recording with. Just saying. If they try and take it from you, that's another, like, stealing of your property. If you got hit on public property, you can record it. You could just be recording damages. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but, you know, you could just say whatever. Which is what they're going to try to do to you. So you kind of really have to fight back by, you know, looking at the facts and finding the facts, getting the facts whatever way you can. I really think that's about it. Just be careful driving. It's dangerous out there. There are people who will try to manipulate you. There are laws and insurance companies that will be rude, but again, I don't fucking know this. I've never been in an accident that I've been driving for. So this video is also for me, just to remember, stay calm. They're yelling at you, but it's literally not the end of the world. If neither of you are injured, if everything's fine, even if they are injured, it could be pretending. The people out there are awful. Just be careful. Call the cops and get a police record that an accident occurred. That's also a check they'll try. Yeah, I think that's about it. Happy Saturday, and goodbye.